Right. Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to guide you through Module 5 of our Food Safety series. Today, we're focusing on a topic that is quite literally the backbone of the entire catering industry, cleaning and disinfection. We're going to take a really structured, critical look at what it truly takes to maintain a first-rate, hygienic environment.
Now, you might be looking at this and thinking, well, it's a brilliant question, isn't it? Your kitchen might look absolutely sparkling to the naked eye. The stainless steel is gleaming, the floors are swept. But is it actually safe? We really have to shatter this illusion that simply looking clean is enough. On this microscopic battlefield, pathogenic bacteria are the invisible enemy. They can contaminate a seemingly pristine surface in seconds, which means we have to look way beyond visible dirt to stop microbiological hazards dead in their tracks.
Okay, let's dive straight into this. Here is our agenda for today. We'll cover the invisible kitchen threat, managing waste safely, and the absolutely vital difference between cleaning versus disinfection. Then we'll tackle safe cleaning and chemical control, the clean-as-you-go philosophy, and finally, mastering your cleaning schedule. Let's get started with Section 1, the invisible kitchen threat, the microscopic battlefield. So, in this battle against microscopic threats, effective cleaning is our primary weapon. Not just to stop the spread of invisible microorganisms, mind you, but also to help us spot physical hazards. And this is where you come in. Every single food handler has a direct, vital role here. It obviously starts with you keeping yourself and your workplace spotlessly clean at all times. But it actually goes much further than that. You need to actively learn about food pests and report any signs of them straight away to your supervisor. You're essentially the eyes on the ground for structural defects, too. Things like holes in the walls or broken windows, which can let those pests inside. If we drop the ball on these responsibilities, we seriously risk driving customers away or, worse, facing a complete business closure. Moving right along to Section 2, managing waste safely, securing the perimeter. Securing your kitchen's perimeter relies on two very distinct protocols. For internal waste, your bins should really have foot-operated lids so you avoid hand contact. Use disposable polythene sacks and be placed close to where you actually work, but never, ever directly next to the food. When they're full or at the end of a shift, tie them securely and get them out. External bins, on the other hand, well, they must be completely waterproof and highly durable with secure lids to keep the local wildlife out. Let's be honest, absolutely nothing attracts a pest faster than an overflowing bin. So they must be emptied regularly and the surrounding areas strictly swept and hosed down. And I genuinely cannot stress this enough, always, always wash your hands thoroughly after handling either of these bins.
Which brings us to Section 3, cleaning versus disinfection, your tactical arsenal.
Now, what's really interesting about this concept is understanding how to actually make a surface safe rather than just look clean. We must follow the golden rule, the two-stage cleaning process. Look, it's virtually impossible to have pristine surfaces 100% of the time during a busy service. But when we clean, we have to follow these steps in exact order. Stage 1, remove the physical grease, dirt, and food using a detergent. Stage 2, reduce the invisible bacteria using a disinfectant or very hot water. You simply cannot cheat the system and skip to Stage 2 without completely finishing Stage 1 first.
Let's do a quick breakdown of the definitions of our weapons, starting with detergents. These are chemicals that, when you combine them with hot water, are absolutely brilliant at lifting away grease, dirt, and food particles. Essentially, they clear the battlefield. But, and this is a big but, remember that they do not kill bacteria. They just remove the physical barriers.
Let's move to our next tool and see how it builds on that previous step. Disinfectants are the chemicals that actually reduce microorganisms, like pathogenic bacteria, down to a safe level. But here is the massive catch. Grease and dirt stop them from working entirely. That is exactly why the surface has to be perfectly clean first. They also need sufficient contact time. You can't just spray it and instantly wipe it off. Alternatively, very hot water, and we're talking 82 degrees Celsius and above here, can also perform this vital disinfection role.
Next up, sanitizers. You can think of these as your clever two-in-one tool. They combine both a detergent and a disinfectant in one go. However, a word of warning, they are generally only effective on lightly soiled surfaces. If you've got heavy deposits of grease or dirt, you still have to remove all of that first to allow the sanitizer the proper contact time it needs to actually destroy the bacteria.
Finally, we have sterilization. This involves applying extreme heat or chemicals to make an object completely free from absolutely all microorganisms. Yes, that includes those incredibly stubborn bacterial spores and viruses.
While it is incredibly powerful, it's worth noting that absolute sterilization isn't really your traditional daily cleaning method for most standard food businesses. All right, Section 4, Safe Cleaning and Chemical Control. Handling your weapons. So, we've talked a lot about what these powerful chemicals do, but mishandling them creates a massive hazard of its own. This quote here highlights a really strict legal duty, CSH, which stands for the Control of Substances Hazardous to Health. Under the 2002 regulations in the UK, employers are legally required to prevent or reduce their workers' exposure to hazardous substances. Assessing these risks isn't just a nice-to-have best practice, it is quite literally the law in the catering industry. So what do those safe controls actually look like in everyday practice? Well, here are the golden rules for your equipment. Chemicals must always stay in their original containers, safely locked away in a cupboard totally separate from food areas. Your mops and brushes? Store them off the floor to prevent bacterial growth. When it comes to drying things, letting dishes air dry or using disposable paper towels is absolutely best. And to stop cross-contamination dead in its tracks, single-use disposable cloths in food areas are the ideal standard. If you absolutely must use reusable cloths, just know they require constant cleaning and disinfection throughout the entire day.
On to Section 5, Clean as you go, the continuous battle.
Let's face it, a food environment will inevitably get a bit chaotic and messy during the rush of a busy shift. But so the crucial point is, you must tip the balance in favor of cleanliness by cleaning up immediately after each specific task. Wipe down that surface, remove the chopping board, sweep up that spill straight away. This constant, ongoing vigilance prevents food waste from piling up and ensures your workspace doesn't suddenly turn into a cluttered, slippery, and downright hazardous environment.
And in this continuous daily battle, commercial dishwashers are absolutely your essential allies. They are key pieces of equipment in any professional kitchen setup. To function optimally and ensure maximum safety, their final rinse is frequently set to that magic number we mentioned earlier, 82 degrees Celsius and above. That extreme temperature is what guarantees effective disinfection.
And finally, Section 6, Mastering Your Cleaning Schedule, the Master's Strategy. And this brilliantly illustrates how we move from chaotic daily chores to a highly organized strategy. You need the ultimate blueprint for victory here. In fact, it is a strict legal requirement for every single food premises to have a documented, tailored plan of cleaning and disinfection routines. It details exactly what needs to be cleaned, how often it needs cleaning, using exactly what chemicals, and by whom. It ensures absolutely nothing, no matter how small, falls through the cracks.
But here is the final thought I really want to leave you with today. A documented schedule can tell you exactly when and how to clean, sure, but it is only your personal vigilance, your attention to detail, and your commitment to these high standards that actually keeps the kitchen safe. You are the frontline defense against these microscopic hazards. So with all these tactics now in your arsenal, are you ready for your shift?